Hey, what's going on, YouTube? I am back with another story time. And if you do like these story times, please like, subscribe, ring that bell. In any case, this is the first time I ever had brickweed. And I really have only ever had brickweed once. Pretty much the bulk of my weed has come from dispensaries, licensed, medical facilities, or, licensed caregivers. Very rarely has it ever been from even just like a home grower growing their own stuff. Definitely done that a couple times, but for the most part, it's always been, weed dispensaries. And this was an interesting thing, moving to a different spot, not really having much access, needing to find some different plugs. And this guy, it was interesting. This guy, his name was Deep Throat, is what everyone called him. And he didn't really go by his official name, just for the sake of, privacy, selling drugs and all. But his nickname didn't come from just nowhere. Part of the thing is, like, he's kind of he had gotten stabbed in the throat by a deal gone wrong, and he had a fat scar from it, like a really fat scar, which just, it just added to the intimidation level. But he's just the nicest one, like one of the nicest dealers I've interacted with. Just a really cool guy. But it just, nicknamed Deep Throat. Just this fat scar basically going from like his jawline all the way down his neck. It looked gnarly, like someone really did it into him when they robbed him. But he for whatever reason, every once in a while from your plug you'll get that sort of advertising like, hey, new stuff in stock, new fire, new gas, blah 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 blah. This guy, he hit us up. I just think he was just trying to get a quick sale. Maybe he just like snagged this giant thing somehow. But he was selling. He just said it was Reggie. I was like, but it was like, it was like super cheap. It was like $50 for the ounce, and I'm like, okay, I guess this will be the first time has seen what it's like, or with this new plug. I'll give it a try. I'll see. So I go and I snag it, and it's very from the get-go distinctly in that brick form. And I'm just like, oh geez, wow, this is interesting. This was clearly some stuff from Mexico that was shipped up in a very densely packed brick. It was one of those things when you see the nugs just kind of squished together in just that way. And so I was like, okay, this is some Mexican brickweed. Like, this is the stereotype of just like terrible, terrible weed that you're gonna get. Thing is, it was actually some of the best weed I've gotten, and in say the southern region of the United States. It was. Oh, it was surprisingly good. It was actually like sticky. It was resinous. Most of the stuff I get is like dry stuff from Colorado, where like a lot of the terpenes, a lot of the stuff is just dried out already. It's such a hard thing in the Colorado climate as far as keeping stuff well preserved, just because of how dry it is and the altitude. But this stuff was just, I mean, it was densely packed together, but it was also the fact that it was like, it was sticking together. It was actually my fingers were getting sticky, and it actually smoked really well. It was really funny because it clearly showed, like, maybe it was just because visually, like, how is he going to sell this and not have it look like brickweed? Because it looked like brickweed. I mean, there's no buts about it. It definitely had that brick-like shape to it. So maybe that was a big factor towards not being able to sell it at a higher price. But dang, was it better than a lot of dispensaries I've been to, sadly enough. And it just felt so strange, like this whole stereotype of like this Mexican brickweed going so far as to getting a killer deal on an ounce of brickweed. And it turned out to be some real pretty fantastic stuff. Like, still to this date, probably some of the better stuff I've had in years around here. It's just like I feel like mids in just the weed scene, it just mids have flooded so much where it's like you're not gonna get something terrible like you were in back in the day, like risk getting something just absolutely garbage. But it's just so, it feels so much harder to get like true premium, sticky, icky quality good stuff. Like a lot of stuff is just like you just go to dabs, might as well. But like for flower, getting that proper just resonant state, something that's like literally going to just gunk up your grinder the first grind, like stuff that's not even like you can't even use a grinder on it because it's that resinous. Like it's just not a doable thing. Like that is something I haven't seen in a long while, and this stuff was pretty close to it. Like I was able to use my grinder for it for the most part, but it gunked it up real quick to where I'm like, I just stopped bothering after the first eighth going through grinding it. So it smoked real even. I didn't know what strain it was. It was just like, hey, this is some Reggie, and I swear he's just trying to get rid of it quick. But like, man, did I snag a deal. And it was enough of a deal to be enough of a memory to make this story time. And yeah, I haven't encountered any brickweed since, sadly enough. But in any case, if you do like these stories, please like, subscribe, ring that bell. You have a great